Hey guys, it's Ovilee and I am here with Bjergsen from TSM, fresh off of their 2-0 win versus CLG. How was it? How'd you do it? Oh my gosh.
I think in the first game, our early game was really sloppy, especially our objective trades. There was times where we were trying to get a tower or we lane swapped at an incorrect point, but I think once we reached the mid-late game and we were playing for team fights in the major objectives like Baron and Dragon, we just completely outclassed them. And the second game was a lot more in our favor. Early game was a bit more volatile. They got first blood on me and got a dove onto Hauntzer top, but after that I felt like we were in good control.
Yeah, I mean, game one, I think you had like a perfect score, didn't die at all, and then game two, you finished it up within 30 minutes. Were you guys that confident going in?
I try not to be too overconfident because oftentimes scrims don't really translate onto stage very well. So, but I think the way we've been practicing has been focusing on how we can improve on stage, not how we can win scrims or do better in scrims. So I was really confident in kind of our basics as a team going into the game. And if we were going to continue to play and communicate by these basics, then we would do really well. But I don't like going into a match thinking I'm going to win. I'm going to go into every match thinking that if we played our best, we'll win, but not that. Never underestimate the enemy team, I guess. Yeah.
I love that mindset. Very humble yet still confident mindset.
Yeah.
I like it. So let's talk about the CLG TSM rivalry, because I think you are now the longest person who's been on TSM the longest. Is that correct?
On this team, or
Yeah, on this team.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, I mean, CLG TSM rivalry, that's always huge. You have Hotshot has the big TSM logo on his face. Like, come on. But I will say, today is the first day that I've noticed that the stands weren't completely packed. Do you think that maybe just because CLG hasn't been performing as they have in the past, do you think the CLG TSM rivalry fanfare is kind of waning?
I mean, we were just talking about the new Nintendo Switch coming out in Zelda, so that could be why the fans aren't, or the stage isn't completely full. But I think right now, I think the most hype match for anyone to watch is probably us versus C9 still, and CLG is a close second. So I don't know. I think CLG came into this being 4-1 in their last 5 games. Their only loss being to us. So I definitely think they weren't a team to be underestimated, and they've been playing really well recently.
So what do you think of CLG's overall position right now? Like, they started off a little wonky, and then they're picking it up now. What do you think about their situation?
I think it's really similar to us. They're a good team, but they had to get back into things after Worlds. They had to build back all those basics of how to play the game and everyone's overall game knowledge and teamwork. And that's why they were looking shaky in the beginning compared to the individual strong teams like maybe FlyQuest and C9 that just rolled over teams. But us and CLG haven't really been like that, but we've both been on gradual improvement. And I do want to say I think Huhi's been playing really well this split, and I know that he's been getting a lot more recognition, but I think both in scrims and on stage he's been one of CLG's most consistent players, so I think he's doing a good job.
Is it always fun to play against him? Like, do you pick up anything new each time?
Oh man, Huhi is really good at doing the early roams where they stack a wave top and then they 3-man top. They did it in the first game at level 3, and it's just a play that a lot of people aren't willing to do because it's potentially risky and you might have to give up a little bit of farm to make that early roam, but Huhi's willing to do that for his team, and it works out pretty often. So that early roam is something that I know Hauntzer is not fond of playing against.
So we saw Andy and Hotshot on the stage when they were talking about the rivalry a little bit. Is he still as involved with working with the team as he used to be?
Not on a daily basis, but he'll come in kind of whenever he's available. I think Andy's really good at seeing opportunities that we might otherwise miss. I'll have a way that I think we should be playing the mid game, and then Andy will bring up this like, oh, but you could have done this, and I'm just like, oh my god, you're a genius. He's good at thinking outside the box and seeing opportunities for objectives or rotations or ways of starting fights that we might not otherwise have seen. So he's just really smart.
So does he come in when you guys are talking with the coaches and analysts, or?
He'll come in sometimes for scrims. He doesn't really join in for our meetings too much, and then he's here at LCS if he's able to and helps us between the games.
Cool. Well, I believe Wildturtle spoke on stage about you guys going into the break with some problems in mind that you wanted to fix. Was maybe like the early shot calling, or what were the specific problems that you guys were aiming for, and did you fix them?
Oh man, that's 2 weeks ago. I don't remember the exact problems we were going into 2 weeks ago. I think it was mostly from 3 weeks ago when we really started improving quickly and just continuing to work on that and making sure that even though I think we took a 3-day break from scrimming, maybe 4 days, that we don't just drop the ball and come back and everyone's like, oh my god, what is this game? How do we play League of Legends? So I think the meta has been constantly evolving. More recently, there's been a lot of like level 1 invades. We saw CLG did some like 5-man invades in their games yesterday. So trying not to get screwed over in the level 1 is really important because your jungler can be put behind if the enemy team has a smart setup.
What are your thoughts on the rest of the split for TSM?
Oh, man. Honestly, I feel really confident. I think Hauntzer and I have stepped up in terms of he's taking over a lot of Doublelift's early game responsibilities. It's really hard for me in the mid lane to kind of visualize how the tower trades are going to go in the side lane or the objective trades or when to swap, and he's done a really good job taking that over and kind of helping everyone understand and up everyone's game knowledge, because it goes through times where some people on the team understand the game better than others, and at that point you just need to be talking, having positive conversations to get everyone on the same page, I guess, and I think he's done a really good job leading the early game for top and bot lane.
Speaking of Doublelift, do you miss him?
I mean, I still talk to him on Skype pretty often. He'll write me about some like really troll stuff, like, oh my god, did you know like this champion counters this champion? Or he'll be like, yeah, you guys should play like Draven. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great, Peter. We'll see about that. So I think he's enjoying the stream life, but I still talk to him fairly often, and there's nothing weird or anything like that. He's still my good friend.
Just the possibility that he may come back. No one knows. Yes, no.
I mean, no one knows as of right now. I think Turtle today actually played super well on Bears. So right now I don't see any reason for Doublelift to come back as Turtle is playing well. I think Turtle should get the opportunity to perform for this entire split and see how he does. And I think he's been doing well recently, so I'm happy.
Perfect. And Doublelift can continue with the streaming life. Well, do you have anything that you'd like to say to your fans out there?
I think just continue to be supportive of our team. It's really nice that when we have these down weeks that there's still a lot of support out there, and that even though there's a lot of kind of tough love, I see you guys really wanting us to improve, and actually I see some pretty helpful things online, some things that I can actually take and learn from. So yeah, I appreciate the love and I guess the criticism that we can take and improve from. So thank you.
You can always grow from tough love. Well, thank you so much for this interview. And for everyone else, you can check out more of our coverage at Yahoo Esports.